Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and the word of the day is equals. And what I mean by that is when a behavior, an idea, a thought, a feeling equals something else, is associated with something else, say an action or a belief. And so, for example, I was doing some work earlier today on my own stuff with the help of a friend, and I realized that for a really long time, overwhelm has come to equal leaning in for me. So when I feel overwhelmed, what I generally do is I automatically go into this response, which is to lean into it, to actually dig my heels in even further and to really try to find the solution. That there's this quality of overwhelm equals urgency. Overwhelm equals a sense of, oh, I really need to do something about it. Except that the problem with this is that most of the time when I'm overwhelmed, I'm also in a depleted state. I'm also tired. I'm also feeling exhausted. I'm already feeling like I've given a lot of my energy, and I usually don't have a lot of bandwidth left. So to try to just push through and to try to lean in and to try to put more energy into it is usually a really difficult thing, which doesn't really serve me and doesn't always get me to the other side of it. What it does is it keeps me spinning my wheels, it keeps me stuck, and it keeps me from getting through the overwhelm. It's kind of like if I hit an ice skid and I slammed on my brakes and I tried to steer out of it by turning my wheel away from where I was going, and instead what happens is I lose control of the car. Whereas the irony or paradox is if I surrender to it, if I kind of drive into the skid, then I can usually right things and kind of move along. And so I started to think about, well, what if overwhelm doesn't have to equal leaning in? What if overwhelm doesn't have to equal urgency? Then what else could it be? Or could it be possible that overwhelm doesn't have to equal anything? Like it just is what it is. And the choice of action that I take afterwards can depend on the circumstances, can depend on the situation. So sure, sometimes it makes sense to lean in, but a lot of times it would also make sense to lean back or to just take a moment to pause, to breathe, to look at things in a whole different way. And so I started thinking about, well, what if I could start looking at overwhelm instead as of something that immediately provokes a reaction and a response to just sort of, step up and try to deal with it, but instead to look at it as an invitation. And that when I feel overwhelmed, it's an invitation for more self-care. That I can use that moment to recognize that, oh, okay, this is an opportunity to think about how can I care for myself more. So I don't, whether overwhelm is the thing that you tend to equate with something else or there's something else. Like, for example, feeling frustrated or sad equals feeling hungry. What do you tend to have that one thing equals another? That when you experience or feel something, it immediately equals a particular response or behavior? And if it was possible to take those, to separate those things where the equation stopped being valid for you, what could you use that experience or that thing to be an invitation for instead? So I'd love to hear what you have to say. Please leave a comment below. And also, if you haven't already done it, go like my Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you're interested, take my What's Your Empathic Type quiz to find out where you fall on the empathy spectrum at empathicwoman.com. And while you're at it, please like this, share this, and spread the word to your friends and family who might be interested in what I have to say. So until next word of the day, I am wishing you so much peace and ease and an invitation to look at what your equations are and maybe just try something completely new and different.